Welcome back. Today we are breaking down Broderick Jones, the rookie offensive tackle playing left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, breaking down the film of Jones after his performance in the last preseason game for Pittsburgh against the Buffalo Bills. Jones is a guy with a lot of great physical tools, a lot of great savvy, and we're going to break down some of his strengths here and why we think he could potentially sooner rather than later, become a quality starting left tackle in this league for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get right into it. So right here, we've got a standard pass protection situation against the Buffalo Bills. You see 77, that's Jones right there. He's going to be one-on-one pass protection against this defensive end coming off the edge here. And we're going to get going. I'm going to focus first on Broderick Jones' pass set. So you're going to notice he's at a little bit of an angle. You would almost prefer it to be more straight back, a little bit more north-south, not east and west. You can see there's a little bit of diagonal there. And what you would really like, and let's back this up a little bit, is again, a little bit more north-south. It goes straight back. He goes a little bit lateral, and you can see what he does. And if you watch this defensive lineman, and this is actually pretty smart by the defensive line, you will see what he does is he attacks Jones' shoulder and then tries to immediately work to turn the corner quickly to get to Trubisky, get to the quarterback. So you can watch what the defensive lineman does. I'll freeze it right before. So you see Jones set right there. He's attacking. He's threatening Jones right away. Right now, this defensive end is trying to make Jones think it's a bull rush or potential inside move. That should, in the defensive end's mind, keep Jones stationary right there. And this defensive end will then break around and get pressure on the quarterback. But watch what Jones does here. I think this is really good stuff by Jones. I'll back up here to the very beginning, and you can just watch this from Jones. So right here after the snap, he gets threatened, but watch that extension right there. That extension. So right now, again, this guy wanted to go a straight angle to the quarterback. Jones's extension on that punch flattened out this angle here. And then watch what Jones continues to do. Continues to ride him upfield and use his long arms. That is really good stuff from that left tackle. Because when I watched this first time right here, I'm like, oh, he's beat. He was threatened inside. He got flat-footed. A little too much of an angle of his kick step. He's going to get beat around the corner. Not at all. Great punch, great hands, pushes him around. Great job in the pocket there.
Yeah, Nick, I think one thing here, and you correct me if I'm wrong, it's really impressive that this early on, a guy like Jones who came from Georgia and he was really strong, really powerful, it's showing that he's using his leverage really early on. I think that's a big step for a lot of young guys coming into the league, just showing that they're using their feet and they're using their leverage, that arm length to, break the distance between him and the pass rusher. That seems like a really good sign so far, doesn't it?
Oh, it shows that he's technically sound, that he was well coached at some point, probably at Georgia, to be honest, or so far with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because this is a lot harder than it looks. When you're threatened immediately right here, as an offensive tackle, you start bracing, right? You start getting ready for a bull rush. You start getting ready for an inside move. You start keeping that front foot a little heavier, and you've got a quick defensive end. In this case, he threatens inside and then quickly works around. It's hard to recalibrate and quickly move and get a good punch outside. It is not easy. What Jones does here is very impressive. But I also really like that final little bit there because he flattens him out there, which is great. But right here at the top, he gives him another push and runs him upfield. Look how far this defensive end is behind Trubisky. This is a beautifully clean pocket in terms of what Jones is doing. Everybody else is kind of screwing the pooch a little bit. But Jones does a phenomenal job from his perspective, giving Trubisky the pocket he needs to make this throw. All right, here we got something that represents Jones's football savvy and understanding of the game and the situation and what the defense is trying to do. So anytime you have a defensive end in this kind of situation right here, an edge rusher is what you would expect, right? There's Jones. He's the tackle. He's got this guy lined up at what's called a 5 technique, outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. That's his alignment right there. 9 times out of 10, when you think defensive end in an alignment, he normally has either outside contain and or edge rush, right? So his job, no matter what, whether it's a run play or a pass play, is to make sure nothing gets outside of him. That's his number one responsibility. He is setting the edge for the defense. But here's the thing that's very interesting. You can see Washington, the rookie tight end, right here to the left of Jones. If this guy had outside contained responsibility, he would be in a world of hurt because this is the easiest block in the world, this easy down block potentially right here if he had outside contained, and then the defense would have no edge whatsoever. In reality, what you're going to see here is this guy doesn't have outside contained. He's actually going to threat inside. So you've got Jones doing a heck of a job recognizing that, passing that off to the guard and picking up the true edge outside contained player, the edge rush player. That's a blitzing defensive back off the edge. This right here is done at the line of scrimmage. This is a call that's made between these two offensive linemen. They'll get to the line of scrimmage. They'll make a call for, let's say, white, 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 blue, 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 out, 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 whatever it is, whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers terminology is. And what Jones is saying, hey, 69, you get him, and I'm kicking out here because someone's coming here. Because if this guy was a true edge container, a true edge rusher, the true outside contained responsibility, he would be outside of Washington here, or at least much closer to head up. He's not. That means he's probably coming in. So Jones makes a call, tells 69 to get him. Well, he sets out to this defensive back and does a beautiful job picking up. This is an outstanding job right there. And it's just done. That's perfect execution, really, by the entire offensive line. The last play wasn't so hot. This is a really nice package, really nice pocket right here. Great job, 69, picking up that defensive lineman coming to him. Jones does a great job getting out in space against the defensive back, gives Trubisky everything he needs to take a deep shot down the field.
Yeah, Nick, I think one thing I've noticed between the last two plays alone, and I think you'll agree with this, is it seems like Jones is a very cerebral player. He's using his eyes. He's thinking things through. He seems a lot more refined and a lot more prepared than your traditional rookie, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%. Look, we talk about this all the time when we evaluate draft picks on this channel. We love SEC linemen, right? These are guys that are going up against talented defensive linemen in college and really smart and really complex defensive coordinators as well. And that's exactly what you get with guys like these, guys who understand these concepts and are willing and able to execute challenging calls, working with other offensive linemen who they've only known for a few weeks at this point in training camp and getting it done. This is really nicely done here. Great pickup. Trubisky has a chance to complete a big ball there. All right, here we're going to go back to another pass protection, and this is a circumstance I really like. When I saw this film the first time, I thought this was really nice by Jones here, because there's a lot of times when you're on the edge as an offensive tackle, things are not going to go according to plan. You're going to be misaligned with your footwork. You're going to miss with your punch. You're going to be a little too far over your knees, lean a little too much. But how you react to those circumstances can really define your success or failure as an offensive tackle. And I think Jones does a great job reacting to a potential mistake here. So he sets, again, he's got a real 45-degree set. Maybe that's what the Steelers teach. They kind of have that over here on the right side as well. I think normally you see a more vertical set, but if that's what the Steelers teach, that's what they teach. He's just doing what he's coached to, I think, at this point. But I want to focus on his hands right here. So he gets out and he misses them, right? You see the hands. I'm going to back that up a little bit for you right there. His first hands, misses him. He's outside, right? He totally missed his punch. He's in a bad situation. This defensive end can now take that back arm and rip through. He can do a club move. He can maybe transfer to a bull rush. He's high on his toes and he's missed his hands. Not a great situation to be in for this young offensive tackle. But this is a nice recovery, right? Misses with his hands. But then look at that. That is good stuff. He misses and then immediately replaces. Miss, replace, extend. Look at that. That is fantastic. Look how quick that happened too, by the way. It's like a boxer. Quick, replace, done. Perfect. That's outstanding. That's quality starting left tackle play in the NFL. Miss hands, replace, extend. This guy's blocked. Great job. Great job. Right? Trubisky has a chance to literally go through his entire read progression and cleanly and calmly hit the check down. There's a lot of young offensive tackles, and you kind of brought it up earlier, Myas, that get in these situations, they get a little over their skis a little bit, they freak out. They don't have the calmness to react, and that becomes a potential sack, maybe a sack fumble there. But this right here by Jones, look at this. This is just fantastic. Miss, nope, hand replaced, victory. Good stuff.
Yeah, Nick, how impressive is this by this young? This was like a 7-year veteran out here. This guy, he's not getting phased by anything. He makes a mistake. He just calmly, like you said, thinks about it, repositions, replaces his hands, re-engages the play. This guy seems so comfortable, and he's going up against good players. I believe 57, his former second-round pick, AJ Epinesa. That's a great player. Earlier, 55, he was going against Boogie Basham, another great pass rusher as well. So these are quality opponents he's going up against. We all know how great the Bills' defensive line is, even the depth on it. So this is just really, really nice to show. This guy already looks like a veteran. He's so calm, cool, and collected. I think we cannot overstate how important that is, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%. And again, one thing I really like about him too is he doesn't hold. Like a lot of guys, and this was kind of my problem when I played back in college. If I got beat, I got in a bad situation, I would just tend to start grabbing cloth just to protect the quarterback. He doesn't. I mean, he's so technically sound with it, where he misses with his hands, immediate replace, extend, but doesn't hold. Just really well done. See that, like you said, Miles, that's a veteran savvy guy. This is a guy who the moment is not too big for him. He's going to grow into a really nice tackle if he keeps that up. All right, we're going the other way now. We're under center. This is going to be a nice run action here. You see him now. He is still the left tackle, of course, but he's lined up again. They're going the other way, so it's a different perspective here. And this is a really nice play from Jones. He comes off base block, gets a little help with some double team action from the tight end, but this is mainly his effort. This is just physical strength and power. And this is what I like to see. He comes off, engages, drives. Look at, he's out of the screen. That's good stuff. Right. Again, this is an NFL athlete. This is a guy, big, strong, physical guy. He knows it's a run play. He's not trying to get moved. Doesn't matter. Jones, with a little help from the tight end, bullies him out of the play. Again, good stuff. There's some things technically to maybe improve on. But, I mean, if you look at it early on, his initial contact, a little high, but not terrible, right? I mean, there's some things to clean up. Good punch, but overall, really good stuff. The one critique I have, and it's not a big critique, but it's something I want him to focus on, and maybe, and I'm going to say probably likely as he gets more reps, playing in this offense, I want to see a little more finish, right? You got a guy going backwards right here. He's kind of, losing momentum. Number 90, you see him, he's kind of really high up. You could potentially tip him over, bury him. Don't look around. Don't look back to see what happened to the play. The whistle may have started blowing. I get it, but bury this dude. Put him on the back, finish him off. Otherwise, this is a really nice job right here. This is winning football, right? The rest of the offensive line didn't help out him, this work right here, but this is winning football. Because, again, if you look at that situation, right, again, they're kind of, it's a design cutback, so it's hard, or it's either designed or 58 Milano flew in there so fast it basically acted like a design cutback. But if you look at how much this hole expanded, right? Again, 58's kind of filling fast. The running back had a cutback. That's a big separation, right? That's like 2 or 3 yards blown out of the way. That gap widening right there would give the running back a great opportunity to read that if the hole was there. Obviously, like I said, Milano kind of flew over the top 58 for the Buffalo Bills. But still, from Jones, this is nice work. Just finish. Just bury him next time. Turn a good play into a great play, but that's still a really nice job by Jones.
Yeah, and I think one key thing here, though, is that Jones does have some things to work on, but even still, he's looking really, really, again, really savvy, really calm, cool, collected, doing everything he needs to, but it's always nice. He's a rookie, so that's one thing he shined in college doing. They say in a scouting report, his offensive line coach, he was the offensive line coach's dream. He wants to punish defenders, get a deadening punch and pass protection. So I think, to your credit, this is what this guy is going to develop to, and I think over time he will do it, just punishing the receivers, because like we've said multiple times, if you can make those extra effort plays as offensive linemen, it really pays dividends going forward, because the defenders will remember stuff like that, wouldn't they?
Oh, 100%. And look, I think I look at it now, it is actually design cutback, as you can see, right? You see the tight end, you see Washington lined up. He's actually an H-back. He's coming across here. He's actually going to be a lead block. So you're actually seeing a lot of motion this way from the offensive line. The running back is going to take a design cutback, right? So, but again, still great job, right? Just stay on him a little bit longer. Stay on a little bit longer. And again, this is the Buffalo Bills. Just look at this. I mean, why do you have this guy in the box? You have a safety going to the middle of the field. You'd have Pickens or any number of any great wide receivers on the outside, quality receiving tight ends, the Steelers. I mean, if you have that guy playing at the line of scrimmage as safety, Trubisky, Pickett, who cares? They're going to throw for 500 yards against Buffalo. So again, this is actually a pretty well blocked play. Like, everyone does their job offensive line-wise, pushes it down that way. Everything's well contained. Washington has a solid seal here. This guy at the line of scrimmage, if they're willing to do that, that's whatever. You'll throw for 400 yards against them. But up front, this is a pretty solid job. All right, so this is another example of Jones in a potential mistake, but has a really nice correction. He had a couple of these against the Buffalo Bills. And again, it's one of the things that separates average offensive linemen from good offensive linemen, backup tackles from starting quality left tackles, is having a play that could potentially turn into a pressure or a sack and turning into a normal routine play. And that's exactly what Jones here. Look at this. So right here, he's passing right here. Look at this. Look at that. Fell for the move. Look at his feet. See how close together they are? He's in trouble there. Look at this. He's got 90's got him on the inside, fake inside, go outside. He's in trouble here. His feet are all out of whack. His hands, look at his hands. No punch down here. Looks like a bad situation. But this is a good athlete, though. Watch 77. Watch how he corrects himself here. Yep, drive him outside. Right, little thing, right? I know it's a quick throw, so 90 may not have gotten there anyway, but there's a chance maybe 90 gets his hands up, bats it down. Doesn't matter because Jones reacts, right? Reacts. Again, it looks really small. You may miss it, but that's good stuff. That actually is really good stuff. That ability to correct. If it wasn't a quick throw, this guy would not have no effect. Lawson would have had no chance to get around the edge to get pressure on Trubisky, right? This is really nice reaction. Feet together, bad situation, react. His ability to turn plays where he potentially could get beat because his footwork's out of whack or defensive lineman had a good move or something like that. His ability to turn those into wins is outstanding, right? There's stuff to clean up, obviously, right? Because you get an ugly little freeze frame, like right there, right? That's not an ideal position you want to be in as an offensive lineman during a pass protection situation. But his ability to correct himself and get the job done is outstanding. This guy's going to be a starting left tackle in this league very soon. Or at least one, either left or right, probably left tackle, just based on his natural skill set. But his ability to correct and do things like that is good job. That's good stuff from Jones.
And one thing I want to touch on, Nick, and you can go over how important this is we have to give him enough credit that he is probably the only potential starting offensive lineman that are out there. All these other guys are the backups. Samalu's not out there. Cole's not out there. Okafor's not out there. Daniels isn't out there. These are all second, third string guys out there. And this is Jones, with subpar support on the offensive line, just doing everything he can. And he really doesn't look faltered. He doesn't look, any semblance of hesitation. He is going full force and just doing his job 100%. And that's really impressive, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the moment's not too big for him, right? His ability to just calmly and coolly react. It's sort of like you see this. We talk about it, the quarterback position all the time. Young quarterbacks who are able to, when crap hits the fan, react and not turn the ball over, hit the check down, do the smart thing. That's essentially what we're seeing out of a rookie offensive tackle here. That's the equivalent. And again, this is just really nice work. You're in trouble, but react, do a good job, get a good completion, keep the ball moving.